It has been living in the gap between your bathroom wall and the drywall since before you noticed it. It does not need food to survive. Silverfish can go 307 days without a single meal. It has been waiting in that wall cavity since before you called the exterminator, and the visit you paid $247 for did not change that fact. The technician sprayed the baseboard. The adults you could see died. 6 weeks later, you found new ones. There is a compound that ends the silverfish cycle permanently, attacking the exoskeleton and the digestive system simultaneously. It costs 89 cents. It has been documented in USDA grain storage protection manuals since 1943. And in 6 states, pest control trade associations formally petitioned to restrict homeowner access to it, with a stated reason that had nothing to do with the chemistry. I'll show you that petition at the 5-minute mark. The product applied to your baseboards is a pyrethroid aerosol, bifenthrin or lambda-cyhalothrin at a 0.06% concentration. At commercial bulk pricing, $3.41 worth of product per room treatment. Labor at a standard field technician rate, 40 minutes, $12.67. Total cost to deliver your service visit, $16.08. Their charge, $247. Margin, 1,437%, on a spray that the industry's own entomologists know cannot end a silverfish infestation in a single application. Or a second. Or a third. Here's why. And the answer is in the biology of the insect, not the chemistry of the product. Most insects stop molting when they reach adulthood. Silverfish do not. Lepisma saccharina, the common silverfish, molts 40 to 60 times over the course of its life and continues to molt as a reproducing adult until it dies. It lives for 8 years. That lifespan is not a footnote. It is the central fact that defines the economics of professional silverfish treatment. An 8-year-old silverfish in your wall has produced between 50 and 100 eggs. Each egg is laid individually in a crack, a crevice, a book binding, a wall seam, wherever the silverfish can push the egg into a protected surface gap. The egg is coated in a waxy adhesive that bonds it to the substrate within minutes of deposition. Pyrethroid aerosol kills adult silverfish on contact. It kills exposed nymphs. It does not penetrate wall crevices, book bindings, or the substrate adhesive on a deposited egg. And it does not touch the 3 conditions that produce the infestation: the humidity level, the food source, and the pheromone trail that marks the colony's foraging routes for every generation that follows. 6 weeks after treatment, the eggs that survived hatch. The nymphs follow the pheromone trail. The cycle continues at the exterminator's billing interval. This was not designed around the silverfish. It was designed around the calendar. There are 3 things that sustain a silverfish colony that no pest control spray addresses. The first is the pheromone trail. Silverfish communicate foraging routes through a trail pheromone deposited on every surface they cross. This chemical signal persists in paper, wood, and plaster substrate for weeks after the individual insect that laid it is dead. Every nymph that hatches reads the same trail and follows the same foraging path. Killing the adult does not erase the map. It only removes one traveler from a road that stays open. The second is the food source architecture. Silverfish consume polysaccharides, specifically starches and celluloses. Wallpaper paste, book bindings, the starch in laundered cotton, the cellulose in drywall backing paper, the glue and photograph emulsions. These sources are not visible to a technician whose task is to spray baseboards. They are built into the surfaces of your home and cannot be removed by an insecticide application. Now here's where it gets genuinely unsettling. The third factor is humidity, and this is the one that makes every other treatment irrelevant if it isn't addressed first. Silverfish require a relative humidity above 75% to reproduce, molt, and survive long-term. Below 60% relative humidity, eggs fail to hatch. Below 50%, adults dehydrate and die within 11 days. The average professional silverfish service does not include a humidity assessment, not in the standard service tier, not in most premium tiers. A compound that eliminates the humidity condition costs $3.47 at any hardware store and removes the one environmental variable without which the infestation cannot persist. Your exterminator knows this number, 75%. It appears in every professional entomology certification course the industry uses to license its technicians. It has never appeared in a franchise service report left on a customer's kitchen counter. Not once, because humidity control costs $3.47, and it doesn't require a return visit. Stop. One data point before we continue. 6 states, California, New York, Florida, Texas, Washington, and Illinois. In all 6, between 1997 and 2009, state pest control trade associations formally submitted regulatory petitions requesting that diatomaceous earth and boric acid be reclassified as restricted-use pesticides under state environmental regulations. Restricted-use classification means homeowner application is prohibited, licensed applicator required, service call mandatory. The stated reason in each petition? Inhalation risk. Both compounds classified as mineral dusts with potential respiratory effects when applied in poorly ventilated spaces. Here is what the same regulatory petitions did not mention. Diatomaceous earth, food grade, is approved by the USDA National Organic Program for use in organic grain storage, organic flour production, and organic fruit orchards. It is sold in the baking aisle of natural grocery stores as a dietary supplement. The EPA classifies food-grade diatomaceous earth as a generally recognized as safe compound. Boric acid, the same compound they called a respiratory hazard, is the active ingredient in eye wash solution. It is listed in the U.S. Pharmacopoeia. It is used in contact lens storage solution. The respiratory hazard argument was not about chemistry. It was about licensing revenue applied to 2 compounds that happen to be the most effective long-term silverfish controls documented in USDA literature. All 6 petitions failed. Diatomaceous earth and boric acid remain available for homeowner purchase in all 6 states. But the petition left a residue. Several major pest control franchise training manuals still describe both compounds as requiring professional handling. The training manual language and the regulatory outcome are not the same document. They count on you not checking. I pulled service agreements from 3 Silverfish and general pest control franchises. Every standard service definition is identical in one respect. Coverage is limited to insecticide application to visible, accessible surfaces. Pheromone trail, untouched. A white vinegar solution, 1 part vinegar, 3 parts water, applied to baseboards and shelf surfaces disrupts pheromone substrate adhesion within 24 hours. Cost, 11 cents worth of vinegar. Not mentioned in any service contract. Food source, untouched. Stored books, cardboard boxes, unsealed starchy dry goods, wallpaper with paste adhesive. The structural food supply of every silverfish colony in every residential home is left completely intact by every spray application in every service tier. Humidity, untouched in the standard tier. 2 of the 3 franchise contracts I reviewed offer an environmental assessment as a premium add-on at $55 per visit. The assessment consists of a technician standing in your bathroom with a moisture reader for 4 minutes and handing you a report recommending dehumidification. A calcium chloride dehumidifier pack, the same tool that solves the humidity problem, costs $3.47 at any hardware store. The $55 add-on does not include it. They're selling you the diagnosis at a premium. The $3.47 treatment sits 2 aisles away and requires no technician. If your silverfish pressure originates from a structural damp source, foundation seepage, a failing roof membrane, a cracked basement wall, the protocol below reduces your indoor population but does not eliminate the source humidity. That requires waterproofing. What follows addresses the 80% of silverfish infestations where the humidity source is manageable. Bathroom ventilation, under-sink condensation, attic humidity, unsealed crawlspace air. 3 compounds. Each targets a different failure point in the silverfish's biology. Phase 1. Food-grade diatomaceous earth. Applied as a thin, barely visible line along every baseboard, bookshelf edge, under-sink cabinet perimeter, and attic floor perimeter. Do not pile it. A thick application warns the silverfish around it. The correct application is a dusting so thin the individual grains are visible, but the line is not white. When silverfish cross it, the fossilized algae particles abrade the epicuticle, the outermost waxy layer of the exoskeleton. That layer is the only barrier between the insect's body and atmospheric moisture. Once abraded, dehydration begins within 3 to 5 hours. No resistance, no metabolism to adapt. Mechanical kill. Phase 2. Boric acid powder, applied in the same thin line format in areas the silverfish visit but do not pass through quickly. inside cabinet hinges, behind bathroom vanity panels, inside book storage shelving. Silverfish ingest boric acid while grooming. The compound disrupts the digestive enzyme system in the midgut, specifically inhibiting the enzymatic breakdown of polysaccharides, the exact molecule type silverfish eat. Their food source becomes toxic. Feeding stops within 48 hours. Colony collapse follows in 14 to 21 days. Phase 3. Cedarwood oil. 8 drops in 1 cup of water applied to wood shelf surfaces, behind toilet tanks, and along window frames. Thujopsine, the active compound in cedar oil, binds to the olfactory receptor proteins silverfish use to detect and follow pheromone trails. The trail signal is masked. Nymphs from surviving eggs cannot navigate to the food source. The foraging architecture collapses without a chemical kill. Humidity control. 1 calcium chloride dehumidifier pack per enclosed cabinet or closet space, replaces every 30 days. Below 60% relative humidity, eggs do not hatch. The next generation never arrives. Combined cost per treatment zone, 89 cents. 1 hardware store trip covers 12 months. The general pest control category generates $3.1 billion annually. Every dollar depends on the pheromone trail staying intact, the humidity staying above 75%, and you not knowing that a $3.47 dehumidifier pack does what a $247 service call doesn't. That's not a conspiracy. That's a service design. Tonight, 3 spots. Check the relative humidity under your bathroom sink cabinet, in the corner of your bathroom ceiling, and at your attic access panel. A $7 hygrometer from any hardware store. Tell me the number in the comments. I want to know how many of you are already above 75%. Every person who gets below 60% this week is 1 fewer seasonal service contract. Next video, mice in the walls. The pest control industry charges between $400 and $1,200 to solve a problem that, at the structural entry point level, comes down to one material costing $1.47 that every rodent control franchise has specifically avoided recommending since 1941. The reason is in a memo. I have it.